What's up, y'all? It's a brave new world. It's me, Chadini. Again, it's a brave new world. The brave people are on the internet now. Yes, sir. The brave people are on the internet. The cowards. I remember in the early 2000s, like 2004, 5, 6, he said, oh, you're internet thug, you're internet gangster, you're not hard in real life. But now you got to really be hard on the internet to go out there and speak your truth. Now, don't even care. I mean, the fact that people can find out who you are behind your avatar online and get you fired for something you said that's probably derogatory or racist or sexist or anti-Semitic, homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a brave new world, ladies and gentlemen. You are not safe nowhere, especially online where all the eyes are on you, right? No, who fears public speaking anymore, right? That's an old fear, right? Nobody knows you. You can say your name is Billy Bob Thornton. People are like, oh, like Billy Bob Thornton? Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton. Go ahead and Google me. You'll never find nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? They don't know you from a hole in the wall, and you're out there with a bullhorn talking to a whole bunch of people in real physical life. That is not scary no more. People interpret what you're saying differently, and there's so many people. You got different alphas that can dictate what others may feel about what you're speaking about. I mean, you're gonna have some agree with you, some disagree, some kind of meet you halfway, the middle of the roaders, right? It's a brave new world, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to get into this here. I'm gonna start off saying that you cannot equate human rights with civil rights. There are differences between the two, right? I'm putting up 4 fingers. Between the two, there's differences between the two when it comes to human rights and civil rights. A human right is a right that is believed to belong justifiably to every human being, whereas a civil right is the right of citizens within a state or society to have political and social freedom and equality. One is more geared towards, or should I say, one is more geared to creating a state or society, while the other is more geared towards how to operate, behave, and conduct as individuals within a state or society. Yeah. Think about it. I mean, just hear what this guy, Vladimir Jabotinsky, had to say about human rights. Many would say that he is the founding father of Zionism, Jewish nationalism. He said, and I quote, I'm going to bring it up real quick for you guys here. All right. I'm going to have to read it off my phone. Here's the quote. He said, and I quote, "We do not have to apologize for anything. We are a people as all other peoples. We do not have any intentions to be better than the rest. As one of the first conditions for equality, we demand the right to have our own villains, exactly as others have them. We do not have to account to anybody. We are not to sit for anybody's examination, and nobody is old enough to call us to answer." Nobody is old enough to call on you to answer. "We came before them and will leave after them. We are what we are. We are good for ourselves. We will not change, nor do we want to. We are good as we are. We will not change, nor do we want to." Human rights. Just scream and respect us as human beings. That's what that is doing. That's what that quote was doing. It was screaming, respect us Jews as human beings. Period. I must state that Israel's counterintelligence states the motto, "By the way of deception, thou should do war." That's important. It's important. But it is interesting that Donald Trump chose Kenneth Marcus as his pick to head the U.S. Education Department's Civil Rights Office. I personally find it very interesting because Marcus comes from being president of the Louis D. Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law, an independent, nonpartisan advocacy organization that aims to advance the civil and human rights of the Jewish people. The group engages in research, education, and advocacy to combat and fight the resurgence of anti Semitism on college and university campuses. So it seemed like there's a conflict of interest there, right? For him to be the head of the U.S. Education Department's Civil Rights Office. I mean, even the guy whose name is on the center that Kenneth Marcus is president of, Louis D. Brandeis, was accused of being radical, greedy, and a Jewish nationalist, aka a Zionist. Brandeis believed that Zionism, Jewish nationalism, and Americanism were compatible, two of the same. He said things like, and I have some of his quotes here on a notepad. He said things like, and I quote, "The highest Jewish ideals are essentially American in a very important particular. It is democracy that Zionism represents. It is social justice which Zionism represents. And every bit of that is the American ideal of the 20th century." Mind you, Israel didn't come to be until like the 1940s. Okay. Zionism is the pilgrim inspiration and impulse all over again. Zionism, Jewish nationalism, Jewish nationhood is the pilgrim inspiration and impulse all over again. To be good Americans, we must be better Jews. And to be better Jews, we must become better Zionists. Okay? Jewish nationalists. We must become better Jewish nationalists. That's what he said. Unquote. Got to create nationhood in order to be good Americans. Got to create nationhood in order to be good Americans. Wow. Imagine that. He is celebrated within the Jewish American community for many reasons. At 18 years old, you got to understand, he went to Harvard Law School and graduated at the age of 20. 18, 19, 20, just 2 years. He graduated law school in 2 years with the highest GPA in the law school's history. Ain't that impressive? He developed a lucrative law practice that allowed him to serve various public interest causes, often on a pro bono, without charge basis. He helped to save the Boston subway. He worked to help save the beneficiaries of life insurance policies. He defended industrial workers and female workers. Hence, and here's the thing, the reason why President Woodrow Wilson, which also was a Democrat president, by the way, nominated him as the first Jewish American to serve as an associate justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. So yeah, he's well celebrated in the Jewish community. But shortly after he left the Supreme Court, the British in America financially backed and gave military support to take Palestine away from the Palestinians and make it Israel for the Jews. Shortly after he left the Supreme Court. Mind you, Israel ain't come to be until the 1940s. One could argue that all this he did was a gradual accumulation of getting American support for a Jewish nationalized state, which we know as Israel today. Sly, cunning intelligence a subversive radical using chivalry, generosity, and liberal socialistic tactics to achieve an overarching goal. Finding ways to use civil duty and civil rights to further human rights of his people. As they say, if you have no human rights, they'll just give you what you want with the vengeance. If you don't want to sit on the back of the bus, then here, take the whole damn bus, right? You're hungry? Well, we got some food that's technically not good for you, but have at it. The right to vote, right? You want the right to vote? We'll give you right to vote, but we'll manipulate that vote so you end up just voting for one party and call it civil rights. Education, and as I say before with education, I got my saying, right? My little poem. The educational system in America is designed to produce workers and followers of man-made rules, which conserves an environment where those rules and workers connect. People are taught how to be politically correct. People are taught how to interview properly. People are taught management skills and people skills. Just because it's taught doesn't make it right. Yet still, people are taught things and are only willing to learn in order to survive and thrive within a certain situation, platform, or position. It's not what's in their heart. It's not who they are. Just as one cannot teach one man's rules into another man's heart, one should not teach man-made rules into an individual's heart, because in all reality, right, we are each individually a gifted star. Oh yeah, we'll give you your child education. We'll give you education. But they never teach your child how to spot and develop that God-given talent that's within them and call it civil rights. Now, I seen on ABC News that a new Trump office will protect conscious rights of doctors. So that means that doctors can say because of their religious and personal morals, values, and beliefs, they can't doctor up on gays or lesbians. That's opening the door. I mean, you're opening the door for doctors to say, I mean, these could be the best doctors in their field. Because of their religious and personal morals, values, and beliefs, they can't doctor up on blacks. What if they're Mormon, right? Hispanics, Asians, Latinos, right? That's crazy. You're opening the door for this. That's like the next thing, right? It's crazy. So, we are still dealing with the two-headed monster of the 1800s. The two-headed monster of the 1800s, what is that? It's elite privilege and neo-imperialism. They also call it colonial expansion, which still goes on today on an international scale in the name of spreading democracy and occupying foreign countries and lands while shepherding the ideologies of elite powers, those of elite privilege. By the way of deception, thou shalt do war. For better conditions, -org.webs.com. Support the cause. Support the cause.